So flight delays are one of those travel headaches that you can basically count on these days. Maybe it starts with a short wait at the gate, but then it stretches into a missed connection or even an overnight you didn't plan for. And while the airline will usually get you where you're going eventually, you're often stuck covering meals, hotels, last-minute changes all by yourself. That's where travel insurance is supposed to step in. But here's the catch, not every provider handles delays in the same way. Some put the burden on you to track receipts and wait for reimbursement long after the fact, while others are starting to help while the disruption is still happening. And when you're stranded in an airport, that can make all the difference. So let's look at the three most popular providers, Allianz, Travelex, and Faye, and how they compare when it comes to delayed flights. Starting with Allianz, which is probably the best-known brand in travel insurance. They've been around for decades. They're globally recognized, and a lot of travelers stick with them because of that track record. If you value a big name and a company that's worked with airlines, resorts, and credit cards for years, Allianz will definitely deliver on that front. When it comes to delays, Allianz provides reimbursement for meals and hotel stays if your flight is pushed back by 6 hours or more. And in more serious cases, like if a disruption eats up half your trip, it can trigger interruption benefits that reimburse you for the bigger stuff. How much? Well, it scales across a few different plans, like the OneTrip Basic, Prime, and Premier. How much it'll run you is based mainly on your age and total trip cost, which is fairly standard across the industry. And on paper, the coverage limits are solid. With the higher tier premium plan, for instance, you can get up to $1,600 for delays and $600 for baggage issues. The trade-off here is the experience. Allianz runs on a more traditional claims-first model. You're responsible for saving receipts, documenting everything that happens, and filing a claim through their portal once you're home. And while they do offer direct deposit, it can still take days or even weeks before the reimbursement actually lands in your account. So Allianz is steady and reliable, but it's reactive. You still deal with the delay yourself, then hope the paperwork goes smoothly later. Now, moving over to Travelex, and this one positions itself a little differently. Instead of offering just one standard plan, Travelex is built around flexibility. There's three main tiers to choose from: Essential, Advantage, and Ultimate. But from there, they've got extras like cancel for any reason, higher medical limits, or extra baggage coverage. For delays, the Ultimate plan goes up to $2,000 with a daily maximum of $250 if you're stuck for 5 hours or more. The Essential plan is more limited with $600 in total coverage, a daily cap of $200, and a minimum delay of 6 hours. Misconnections and baggage are also covered, with benefits ranging from $200 on the lower end to $750 on the higher ones. So the upside here is pretty clear. If you know exactly what you need, Travelex lets you specifically customize and avoid paying for coverage you'll never use. Of course, the other side is that the process itself can feel more complicated. You're comparing tiers, balancing daily limits, making sure you don't miss anything in the fine print. It can feel like extra work when all you want is something straightforward. And then there's the claims process. Travelex doesn't handle it directly. They outsource it, actually, to the Zurich Travel Claims Administration. So if you do need to file, you're working with a third party. Now, it works fine in practice, but it can add another layer of communication and slow things down compared to providers that keep everything in-house. So Travelex is a great fit if you're detail-oriented and like tailoring your plan to your trip. But if you're looking for something simple and easy to use in the moment, the tiers and outsourced claims process can feel a bit clunky. And then we get to Faye, which takes a very different angle. Instead of focusing on claims after the trip, Faye is designed to actually help while the delay is still happening. Everything runs through their app, which becomes your central hub for the trip. If your flight's delayed or your gate changes, you'll usually see it in the app before the airline even makes an announcement. From there, call up Faye's 24/7 support team, and they'll help you rebook flights, find alternate routes, even point you to a decent place to eat in the terminal if you're stuck for hours. It feels less like a policy and more like having a travel companion on hand. The coverage itself is generous, and more importantly, it's easy to understand. If your trip is delayed by 6 hours, you'll receive $300 a day, up to a maximum of $2,100 for the trip. If you miss a connection because of a 3-hour delay, that's another $200 right away. Baggage delays are covered too, with $200 after 6 hours or $300 if you've added the upgrade for longer waits. And beyond the standard protections, Faye includes a trip inconvenience benefit. $200 per event, $600 total for smaller annoyances, like a hotel check-in gone wrong or getting locked out of your rental property. They also handle reimbursements differently. With Allianz or Travelex, you're filing receipts, submitting paperwork, and waiting for a claim to be approved before anything comes back to you. With Faye, the funds are pushed directly into your Faye wallet. That's a digital card linked to Apple Pay or Google Pay so you can use the money immediately, whether that's booking a new hotel for the night or just grabbing a toothbrush when your bag doesn't show up. And to give you a real-world example, let's imagine a 2-week trip to Italy with a total cost of around $2,000. For a 29-year-old like myself, Faye quoted me $126.67, which works out to just about 6% of the trip cost. That's right in line with what you'd expect to pay for travel insurance in general, but what you're getting in return is a way better experience overall. So where Allianz is steady and Travelex is flexible, Faye feels like the modern option. It's quick to set up, it's easy to manage through the app, and it's built to give you help when you need it most, not after the trip is already over. And while we're talking about making travel better, let me share a little trick I use to save money on the bookings themselves. It's called Private Honors, and it gives you up to 12% cash back on every trip. Here's the idea. Private Honors basically taps into wholesale travel rates. Those are the prices travel agents see, which can run up to 20% cheaper than public booking sites. If you ever use Expedia, this will feel familiar because Private Honors actually runs through Expedia's travel agent affiliate program. That's how they pass along the discounts and cashback you won't normally see. I used it for flights, hotels, even car rentals, and more than once, it beat the prices I found on my own with sites like Skyscanner. Once you sign up, even if it's just a free trial, you can hit the Book My Trip Now and it'll take you right into Expedia Tab's booking portal. From there, it looks like any other search page, except Private Honors flags the discounted rates. Like, for example, I've got my mindset on going to Paris this fall, so I just plugged in my date range and traveler info, and the results popped up like usual. But one of those hotels, Hotel Chamar, showed a 50% discount for those dates. You click through, and just like anywhere else, you'll see photos and reviews. You're just booking at the lower wholesale rate. So if you want to see how Private Honors could cut down your travel costs, check out our in-depth review video and use the affiliate link down in the description to get started. So here's how it all stacks up. Allianz is the dependable choice if you want the reassurance of a big established name. The coverage is reliable, and if you don't mind holding on to receipts and handling claims after the fact, it gets the job done. Travelex is a good fit if you like having options and tailoring coverage to match your trip, though the tiers and outsourced claims process can feel like extra work. But if you'd rather have something that's helpful while you're still stuck at the airport, Faye is the one that stands out. Real-time flight alerts, instant access to funds to the Faye wallet, and a support team that can step in when you need it most. It's just a smoother, more practical experience when the plans go sideways. And for about the same cost as the other providers, it simply feels like a better fit for the way people travel now. And if Faye or Private Honors sound like they might be a good fit for your next trip, check out the links down in the description. There you can find the latest pricing and coverage details, so it's worth a look before you book. Also, if you're interested in working with us or sponsoring a future video, just reach out using the email in the description below. Hopefully this gave you a clear look at how these providers compare. If you found it helpful, a thumbs up is always appreciated. And if you've got questions about travel insurance in general, or Faye specifically, leave those in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. Guys, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.